And if you missed it, then go ahead and you can watch the replay tomorrow. I think it'll be posted or so. Typically, I think they put it out under a Spark article, but you'll get an email about it and be able to watch the whole recording. I highly recommend it if you weren't able to watch it tonight. It was one of the best calls I've seen in a really long time, and just to get to watch the jewelry with Barbara Carter, who is a Swarovski genius, and I'm sure she's been with Swarovski for at least 30 years now, and we're incredibly fortunate to have her as our head of what is her title, Liz? Do you remember? Head of
Sorry, maybe
product and
product
Product design.
product
design.
development, wasn't it? Product
Yeah,
design,
product development.
product
Right. There you go. That. So thank you for that. So here's what I want to talk about tonight. We have many topics to digest and to play around with this month. And you all know what all the specials are, so we're not going to cover all of that. What I want to talk about is just a quick dive on the tools that we have for working on Punta Cana. If you don't think you can earn Punta Cana, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. And I'm going to show you some of the tools that you can use. This is the easiest trip. The sponsoring level is the lowest we've seen. It matches one of our lowest sponsoring requirements, which is 4 Glambassadors. That's 4 people who come on between now and December 15th and sell $1,000. $1,000 is one party. So all you have to do is find 4 people who will do that over the next 4.5 months. The sales requirement is very different. It's only $15,000 over basically a 5-month span. So if you're talking about a $3,000 average during our best selling season, which is the fall, including November and December, that whole 6-week span, you could go crazy and sell so much jewelry. I think you're going to be very surprised. If you're simply paying attention and treating it like a business, you can absolutely earn this trip. We've got a couple trip achievers with us. Actually, we have one trip achiever with us, and that's Liz Friedman. Liz, just real quickly, would you mind, and I didn't ask you ahead of time, but you're a pro at this. What was your favorite trip, and
Jamaica.
what did you love
Sorry.
about it?
Jamaica.
I knew that was the answer.
It's
What
like
did
I
you
get
love
the answer
about it?
all
That
the
was
time. Oh my God, that trip was amazing. And I'm sad they got bought out and we probably won't be able to go there again. But anyway, so yeah, there's so many things. Like every trip is great in its own way. I can't even remember how many I've done now. With this company, I went on some with my previous company and many here. You get treated like royalty from the minute, like basically you get everything. You get they do your airline tickets, they send you your oh my gosh, the luggage tags, basically it's all there. You go to the airport, you get on a plane, they meet you when you get there, your transportation from the airport is covered, then you see all the home office people and get big hugs and stuff. And it's first class all the way. And it's not like a working trip. I mean, it's a working trip in that you network with people, and you meet a whole bunch of, other Touchstone people, but it's meant to be a celebration of all your success. So, I mean, yeah, you work a little harder, you push yourself a little harder, you set that goal and you do it, you make yourself do it. And then you get there and you're like, and it's fabulous. And they appreciate that and they love on you, morning till night. And I don't know. I mean, it's kind of awesome. And once you do it once, you never, ever want to miss one.
That's a good point. Great description. I could not have said it more eloquently. 20 years ago when I started in direct selling, it was honestly because I wanted a trip. I didn't really know you could make money. I didn't know much about how direct sales works and being in party plan, but I knew that I, as a camping mom, could actually have a free trip to a really splashy resort and catch a break and do something really fabulous like that. I thought, if I can do that, then I'm sure I can learn how to do this company. It was my previous company. And I'll never forget the feeling earning that very first trip, which was the first one that I had an opportunity to earn, and it was to St. Thomas. We descended into the St. Thomas airport, and I cried because I was so proud of myself. I was a stay-at-home mom of 2 kids. I had left my career, and I set my mind to do something, and I was so proud of myself. And I never missed a trip after that. And many times back in that company, you could take your family with you. You could earn it for a husband or a friend, and you could also buy in your kids, which was cool. That was a different, twist on it. So we were able to take several trips with the kids. Back then. You can also buy in your spouse or your friend or your child or your mother. And so even if you don't earn it for a second person, you can buy that person in, and they get the same royal treatment that you get, and can stay with you in your room and all that. So ton of fun and totally worth it. All right, let's take a look real quickly at what is available to us in the way of documents, fun things in the back office, trip trackers. Okay, so August is your yes month. This is the slider. Come on. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so let's see if I can get this out of the way. So we have this little video. They didn't show it on this call, but if you have not watched this, you need to go back and watch it. Debbie and I actually showed this to all of her guests and hostesses. I highly recommend that you share this video with people because we want them to see what we're doing. So liberally share this video with people on your VIP page, share it on Instagram, share it wherever you want to, because this is a part of what we're excited about, and that's really important. All right, so let's take a look. There's a tracking chart on here. Now, we have really creative people on our team, including Rena Michelle, for example, who loves to make trip trackers. And who knows if she's going to make one for this trip? I do not know, but this is the one that the company has given us. And I'm just seeing it for the first time. So it gives us the qualification period. I highly recommend that you print this off, put it someplace that's public in your house, stick it on your refrigerator, put it next to the kitchen sink, put it wherever your family is going to see it so they know what you're working on. That whatever your trip goal is, decide what it's going to be. If it's the trip for 1, what you're looking for, circle it. Trip for 2, extra day. Good night, Dad. Sleep tight. You can tell it must be 8:30 because it's bedtime. And here, if you have the bonuses from June and July, then you can add them in here, and then it'll say what your goals are going to be for your glams and your glammies and your sales. And then you're just going to keep your little ticker going here. There are other fun ways of doing this. We have people who do it like with little sticky notes. They'll create their own little tracker of every $1,000. They rip off another sticky note. To show them that they're closer. But I want to highlight something for those of you who joined in May, June, or July. You have all of August to count double sales points. So that's really important. Like Kay Springfield, she joined in June. She has all of August. Everything she sells in August is going to count twice toward this trip. All of your team members who start as of today will have until the end of September for their first full month. All of those sales points get counted twice. Same thing if she joins September 1. She has all of her sales points for September and October counted double. It's her first sales month. So it's not just August 1, it's also September 1. It's also if she joins October 1. Everything she sells October and November is counted double. Here's why it's important. She only needs 15,000 sales points. So be thinking about who you want to invite to join your team, because she can absolutely go on this trip starting now, starting September, starting October, because let's say she sells $6,000 in her first 2 months, which is her first full month in business. She's already at 12,000 points, sales points, and all she has to do is work on the Glambassadors and wrapping up the sales. There's also a new leadership promotion sales credit. You will get 2,000 points by reaching group leader if it's your first time, anytime between August 1st and December 15th. So for those of you who have never hit group leader, you will get an extra 2,000 sales points. So that's something else to think about. And because if it's never happened to you, the reality is by working on this trip, you're going to get there because you're going to have at least 4 people on your team, and you only need 3 to reach group leader. So more than likely, you're going to have that as a bonus. Now, there's also something called the trip rules, regs, and disclaimers that you're going to want to read. It talks about when you have to be a Glam ambassador by, trip achieving information, what happens to you. You can buy in a guest for $1,700, or you can choose single occupancy for yourself if you want. So there are lots of little requirements. If you don't have a little trick to know if you don't have your passport yet, please get it now. So just start working on it. That way it's done. And you don't even have to think twice. I already know 2 people who have already said to me, I just got it because I wanted to make sure I have it for this coming trip, because they didn't have it for past trips and they were disappointed that they wouldn't have been able to go anyway. So this is an important thing. Get that travel document ready to go. And if you can't go on the trip, but you earn the trip, you can get a $1,000 product certificate. So just so you know, that's an option. Okay, let me show you. I want to go back to my inbox real quickly. I got a nice email from Michelle Bardwell today, and it includes a lot of the things that they shared on the call tonight about the trip. So we saw about the sales credit when you promote to group leader. When you join from May 1st to July, end of July, you get double sales credit in August. And of course, you get double sales credit in your first full month of business when you're brand new. Some trip pics, love it. 4 Glammies. Okay, here's the breakdown. But I want you to think about this. And I know that they talk about the number of parties, and that's sort of the generic way of looking at it. But a lot of you are running an online business in addition to reopening your in-person business. So keep in mind that if you can continue with your online business, maybe it's selling to your VIP group, maybe it's your online Zoom parties. If you can keep that stream going and add a few in-person parties to it, it's going to change your trajectory, and your sales are going to be even higher than just 3,000 in a month, for example. I think the thing to consider that's most important is that the faster you sponsor your team members, the faster you're going to get to leader, and the faster you'll be earning that 40%. So if you're not yet a group leader earning 40%, the faster you sponsor those team members, the sooner you're going to start making that 40% during this trip incentive period. That really adds up. And this is why they show the difference between a consultant selling X amount, earning this, and earning the trip for 2, and you get almost a $2,500 increase. That's going to pay for if you want extra goodies, or if you want to extend your trip somehow, you have to pay the difference in the airfare and pay for your extra time there. But people do that. So that's an option. The home office won't do that for you, but you could certainly do that. That pay increase makes all the difference. All right, so here's what I'm recommending. First thing, and this is their list, and mine is very similar to it. So first thing is set that trip goal, just like the home office said. The second is figure out what's your August party calendar going to look like. That's everything. How many Zooms are you going to do? How much you're going to sell on your VIP group, and how many out of the house parties are you going to do? So that's important that you know when you're willing to work. The third thing is tomorrow night, 7 to 8:30, we're going to be giving everyone who wants to an opportunity to take part in a Party Up study hall. I call it a push night because it gives us a push to get our parties on the calendar the way we want it. Party Up study hall is tomorrow night, 7 to 8:30. It's kind of like study hall in high school, where what did we do? We brought our books, we brought our notebooks, we sat there with pen and paper, we did our homework, we finished our math homework, we started working on that book report, right? But we did it with our friends sitting at the table. It's the same thing. We sit here on Zoom, we give some verbiage and some ideas, and we simply sit here and work together. And we say, oh, wait, what? She just said this to me. Now what do I say? So it's very interactive, but if you want to be silent and just work, you can just put your headphones on, go on mute, and just sit there and get your work done. But the goal is to give you a window where you say to everybody else and everything else, I'm working my business tonight. And it gives you that chance. It gives you that felt freedom to do what you know you want to do, rather than trying to squeeze it into the little pockets and holes of your life. So Party Up study hall, is tomorrow night, 7 to 8:30, right here on this Zoom. The next thing is to register for the event next Tuesday night on August 9th, which is a special sponsoring seminar. And right after that is the 8:30 webinar. I know the timing seems crazy. My bet is they're going to be having us do some things during that sponsoring webinar that will be causing us to invite people at the very last minute to hop on with us at 8:30 to watch the webinar. And then there's one more 2 weeks later on the 23rd as well. The other thing that I would suggest to you is start sharing that yes video. Share it with your past hostesses. Say, hey, we just got this really fun new thing I wanted to show you. Get her to watch it. All of your past hostesses, even if she has said no in the past, all you're doing is just getting her take on, hey, I just want to get your take on this. Those are pretty innocuous words. So we get your take on this. Your good customers, people who you just really wish were on your team. Maybe she's not even a good customer. You just think she's great. Send it to her. This is a really great tool that I think is going to turn things around for all of us. It's not something we've ever had before. I think it's a very powerful tool. And when you combine that with our $79 startup plan, notice they're not calling it a starter kit anymore. They're calling it a startup plan, a $79 startup plan. If you change your phrasing, and I've started to change my phrasing, I think you're going to see a big difference in the way people respond to this. A $79 startup plan, it goes along with the yes video, and it's pretty cool. Okay. So what are your thoughts on all of this? What's the first thing that you're going to do or that you're most excited about? We have just a minute or two to share. You'll have to unmute.
I just think this is so doable. And I think if we were to, I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you and write down all these names of people that I already know have booked, okay? And next to their names, I'm writing down exactly what their party's going to be. It's not going to be 600. It's not going to be 800. We're going to do $1,000. That's a mindset that I have for these parties. Now, if it goes beyond that, yippee-i-o-ki-yay, you know? So that's what I'm doing. It's just a matter of sitting down and knowing what you already have, what you're expecting from those parties, and how you're going to make that happen, which is good hostess coaching, and maybe even using the tic-tac-toe and going for it and knowing what you need to add to get what you want to get. And for me right now, I think August and September should be our part of my language, our kick-ass months. We need to go in there and kick ass, ladies. We need to go in there and make it $4,000, $4,500 a month, $5,000 a month. And then we can enjoy the last two, knowing what we have to do, because that is going to be very doable, very, very doable. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, and what I just sat down listening to you, if everybody that I have booked, and I booked another party today, if everybody does what I want to do, I'm going to have almost $6,000. Okay, if everybody does what I'm looking at them to do, and trust me, they're going to do it. And at every party, concentrate in your mind that you're going to walk away with anywhere from 2 to 3 bookings at every single one of those parties. That's going to carry you through so much. You'll never run out. You'll
Great
never
point.
run out. That's what I'm doing.
I love it. I love it. I think every trip I've ever earned, I've been told front load as early on as possible during that first month, first 6 weeks, front load as much as possible to give yourself momentum. And that always feels really good when you can pull it off. It's great. Thanks, Debbie. Who else?
Oh, you're welcome.
Something that I'm going to throw Patricia under the bus, but in a good way, that we were talking once, and what she does and what I started to do is when I book a party, you know, you put the sponsoring seat in there, and then before their party, you know, maybe a week before or so, once you know, right before you're going to get things started, you give them the opportunity. Hey, you know what? If you decide you want to join and do this, we'll sign you up as a consultant, and then the party sales will all be yours, and we'll get you started on the right foot, right? Or the other option is, if you're not quite sure yet, that's okay. keep thinking about it. And then at your party, we'll talk about it again. And then if you do decide at your party to sign up, then all the bookings that happen at your party, you're going to get to start you off on success, right? Because at that point, you're getting this party sales, right? You're not going to, it's your party, but you're going to give her the bookings. And I know some of you are thinking, oh, that's bookings I could have had. Yeah, but you know how to find more bookings in other places. And so that will start your consultant off. If there's 3 friends that want to book a party, that's going to start them off so strong. They're going to be so successful and they're going to love it, right? When people are successful at first, they do better, right? So why not give them those parties?
Right.
So it does work. I've had people actually sign up before their party, and I basically do the party for them, their starter party. And I tell them to take notes, and I tell them I may call on them to say a few things, but it works. You just have to talk about it and don't be afraid to ask, because the worst thing they're going to say is no. And you know what? If you don't ask, they're already saying no.
Good point. Great point. Great point.
Got something else to add for all the new gals, or even a seasoned gals, and we're talking about the newness and getting tired of talking to the same people over and over again. There's absolutely nothing wrong with going and looking for some vendor events. You're going to get some new people right then and there. There, depending on how you want to do it, what your game plan is when you're walking in there, what do you want out of that vendor event? You would be surprised of what you're going to have. You're going to have a whole bunch of new people. And, I've got a couple that I'm getting ready to do that I've already booked. I'm only going to do one a month because I got my, when I want to work, but why not? There's churches and there's schools and there's all sorts of stuff that can help.
Yeah. Everything's opened back up again for these opportunities. We've gotten out of the habit of looking for these things and taking part in them, but now we can.
Yeah.
It's great. Great idea, Debbie. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Who else? 1 or 2 last things you're excited about, things you're going to do right away? Okay.
Double points are always exciting and motivating. So
Good point.
that, and I would love to connect with whoever does online, because there wasn't any online the last time I was with Touchstone. So
It's true.
that would be great.
We can talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, I can
Okay.
show you all the resources when we meet.
Okay.
Love
Hey,
it.
where do you live in Richmond?
I live in Midlothian.
Oh, okay. That's not too far. I live in Yorktown.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we've connected years ago. Have you been in this a while?
5 years.
Maybe not.
I don't know. It
I
doesn't
don't know.
make any
I can't remember either.
Well, we connect. That's not a problem.
Let's keep connecting then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Good answer. Anybody else? Okay, well, let's go to it. We have a really exciting month ahead of us. It's all about mindset. If you think you can or you think you can't, either way, you're right, said Henry Ford.
No, we can't.
So decide that you can and keep going, and it'll be the truth. All right, love you all so much. We're going to have a ton of fun, and I cannot wait to see you all succeed. This is going to be such a great fall. Take care, everybody. Love you all.
Thank you, Betsy.
Thank you.
Thanks. And what time tomorrow for the push?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. See you
Right
then.
here. Same
Bye.
bat station. Different time, same bat station.
Sounds good. See you tomorrow.
Okie dokie.
Bye.